Hello there. So a few months ago, I recorded an episode on some of the most commonly mispronounced English words among Polish learners. And so many of you messaged me saying, "Oh my God, Asha, I've been pronouncing this word incorrectly for years. Thank you for making me aware of this proper pronunciation." So today I've decided we're doing part 2 of these tricky mispronounced words, because from my experience, pronunciation is something that can make you sound either natural and professional, or simply a bit unclear, less confident, and sometimes even unprofessional. And in some situations, incorrect pronunciation might actually lead to certain misunderstanding, and nobody wants that, right? So today I've prepared 10 very common English words that Polish speakers, and not only, I guess, often pronounce the Polish way. And please repeat after me, okay? Because pronunciation is this kind of physical skill. You need to train your mouth, your tongue, your jaw muscles, not only understand the theory, okay? So repetition is the key here. And honestly, here the rule, the more the better, actually works miracles. So the more you repeat a given word, the better. So let's kick off, shall we? Okay, so the first word, very common mistake. Polish learners often pronounce these two words as they look. So quality and quantity, czyli jakość I ilość. So very often you say quality and quantity, but now listen carefully and repeat after me. This is quality and quantity. So not qua, but quo, and also not liti or quantity, but quality and quantity. Okay, so repeat after me: quality, quantity. So the stress is at the beginning. And now let's try to pronounce these words based on a full sentence, okay? So we focus on quality, not quantity. Repeat. Once again, we focus on quality, not quantity. Okay, so the second word, obcokrajowiec. So, the most common incorrect pronunciation I hear is foreigner, okay? But this is actually foreigner. Foreigner. And of course, pay attention, I'm not pronouncing these R at the end because I have this British pronunciation. So either foreigner, British pronunciation, or foreigner, American pronunciation with R at the end, okay? But not foreigner, foreigner, foreigner. Okay, example, a full sentence, repeat after me. So at first, I was nervous about speaking English with foreigners. Once again, at first, I was nervous about speaking English with foreigners. Okay, so word number 3, and this is specjalizacja in Polish, of course. And that's the question to you. How would you pronounce this word in English? Probably, in most cases, I hear specjalization. So this kind of calc from the Polish language. Specjalizacja, so we are tempted to say specialization, okay? But actually now the proper pronunciation is specialization. Repeat after me. Specialization. Specialization. Okay? And now why? Because when you think of it, there is this word special, right? Special. So you don't say special, you say special. And also there is this word to specialize, not to specialize, right? To specialize. So now repeat after me: special, specialize, and specialization. So not specialization, but specialization. Specialize and specialization. And now full sentence, repeat after me. My specialization is digital marketing. Repeat. Once again, my specialization is digital marketing. Okay, word number 4. In Polish, this is pilne. So now you can maybe figure it out and pronounce it. And now very often this word is mispronounced. Very often people say urgent, okay, with R, urgent. But actually the proper pronunciation, the correct pronunciation is with urgent, urgent, okay? Urgent would be the British variety, and the American one with the R pronounced, so urgent, urgent. So urgent or urgent, but not urgent, okay? There is this like turkey, for example. So urgent, okay? Now a full sentence. You know, this issue is quite urgent. This issue is quite urgent. So word number 5, długi. How do you say that in English? Długi meaning with money, okay? And that is simply debts. And the incorrect pronunciation very often is when people say debts. So they actually pronounce this B. But remember, in this word, this B letter is silent. So we say debt. 1, debt. 2, debts. Okay, no debts. There is no B here. So debt and debts. So now a full sentence, repeat after me. The company managed to pay off all its debts. Repeat. The company managed to pay off all its debts. And by the way, company, okay? Not company, but company. So the company managed to pay off all its debts. And by the way, jeśli słuchając tego odcinka poczułeś lub poczułaś, że fajnie byłoby intensywniej poćwiczyć swoją wymowę pod moim okiem, to mam dla Ciebie something special. Już niebawem poprowadzę bezpłatny warsztat z wymowy, na którym pokażę Ci najczęstsze błędy popełniane przez Polaków. Omówimy trudne końcówki, takie jak al czy ing. Poćwiczymy wymowę 2 typów i, które naprawdę w języku angielskim są bardzo ważne i od razu polepszą Twoją wymowę, jeśli będziesz wymawiać je poprawnie, oraz wyjaśnię Ci też, jak działa connected speech, dzięki której Twój angielski będzie brzmiał bardziej naturalnie. Także innymi słowy pokażę Ci, jak pracować nad wymową skutecznie, żeby brzmieć bardziej naturalnie i pewnie po angielsku. Link do zapisu na ten warsztat za 0 zł znajdziesz w opisie tego odcinka. Hope to see you there. And now let's go back to these 10 most commonly mispronounced words, shall we? So word number 6 is wątpliwości. Okay, how would you say that in English? So now we've got another silent letter here because the correct pronunciation is doubt or doubts. Okay, so we don't say doubt. Okay, the same as debt, here doubt or doubts. And now example, full sentence. Repeat after me. I had some doubts about this strategy. I had some doubts about this strategy. I had some doubts about this strategy. And now word number 7, za granicą. How would you say that in English? Try to say that aloud, okay? Pronounce it aloud. And now the correct pronunciation is abroad, okay? Repeat. Abroad. The incorrect pronunciation, and very common mistake, by the way, is when people say abroad. Okay, so they say at the beginning and also say broad with this w inside. Okay, and this is simply abroad. Broad. Okay, there is no w in the middle. So full sentence. I've never lived abroad. Repeat. I've never lived abroad. Okay, very important word. Word number 8, and this is simply odpowiadać na pytanie, for example. How would you say that in English? And here we've got this very classic Polish mistake. So many people say answer. So they actually add this w into this word. But this is simply answer, okay? Answer. Repeat after me. Answer. So there is no w in the middle. And of course, the British variety would be answer, and the American variety would be answer with this r at the end, okay? And a full sentence. Could you answer my question? Repeat. Could you answer my question? Okay, the last but one, word number 9, usunąć coś, usunąć plik. And this is simply delete. Repeat after me, delete. And now, what's a very common mispronunciation of this word? Very often people say something like delayed, okay? But this is delete, okay? Delayed, opóźniony. Delete, usuwać. Okay, full sentence, repeat after me. I accidentally deleted the file. I accidentally deleted the file. Go ahead. Okay, and the last word, lokalny. How do you pronounce this word? Lokalny. And this is simply local. Repeat after me, local. And the problem is very often people kind of copy the pronunciation from the Polish language and they say lokal, okay? But this is low, repeat after me, low, col, local, okay? Local. Full sentence. We're looking for a local supplier. We're looking for a local supplier. Okay, well done. So as you can see, once you improve the pronunciation of these words which you will be using on a daily basis, right? Your English will instantly sound much more natural and much more professional, English-like, and well, you will be understood most importantly. So as far as I'm concerned, pronunciation is often the difference between sounding kind of textbook English and simply sounding fluent and natural. So now let's quickly revise today's words, okay? Just repeat after me. Quality, quantity, foreigner, specialization, specialization, urgent, debts, doubts, abroad, answer, delete, local, local. So I hope from now on you will pronounce these words correctly. And as always, let me know which of today's words surprised you the most. So let me know in the comments, and cheers. See you next time.